You ever had a moment so gut-wrenching it feels like your whole world just shatters and rebuilds itself at once? Yeah, that happened to Blake Morrison, CEO, tech genius, the kind of guy who's never been told no. But there he was, kneeling by a tiny headstone that read, Baby Morrison, heartbreaking in silence. Then, out of nowhere, a familiar voice whispered, That grave is empty. He turned to see a woman holding two boys with his exact smile. Suddenly, memories flooded back lost years, forgotten family, the sons he never knew he had. But let me back up a sec. Maya Johnson wasn't supposed to be in that mansion's library, let alone touching Blake's prized business books. 3 months in, the strict misses. Morrison had made it clear, no maid's messing with the CEO's things. Yet Maya, cleaning woman, student, dreamer couldn't resist the pull of knowledge that cost more than her whole year's rent. And when Blake caught her mid-dust, instead of anger, there was a spark curiosity, respect, maybe something more. Business strategy interests you? Blake teased, stepping closer, that expensive cologne filling the air. Maya, clutching her rag, tried to keep distance. She needed this job to pay tuition to survive. But Blake handed her a book. Consider it professional development. Their fingers brushed. It was electric, unspoken, dangerous. Our secret, he smiled, eyes locking hers. Weeks later, Maya found herself in the mansion's west wing, a place she rarely cleaned. Blake had left a note. Help with papers while Rebecca, his senator wife, was away. But there were no papers, just him. I've been watching you, he said, closing the door. You're different from the others my mother hires. There's something exceptional about you. Maya should have walked away. Instead, she stayed, even as Blake read her essays, insightful, sharp, more than half his Harvard MBAs. Flattery mingled with anger in her chest. You're married, she reminded him. This is mentorship, he said, but they both knew the truth. The boundaries blurred one afternoon when Blake kissed her and she didn't pull away. Years of loneliness, a chance to be seen, clouded her judgment. This was just another kind of education, Maya told herself later, clothes scattered, heart tangled in confusion and desire. But reality was harsher than passion. One night, among friends in an exclusive Boston club, Blake's buddies warned, You're playing with fire, Morrison. Blake laughed it off. Maya was just a distraction. Temporary. But Maya's life was about to explode. A positive pregnancy test shattered her world. Twins. The father, Blake, distant, cold, offered money a check to solve the problem. People like you always have a plan B, he sneered. Do you really believe there's a future where we share anything? His words were knives, cruel, dismissive. Women like you are for cleaning, not for building legacies. Maya stood still, absorbing the pain, before reminding him, Your mother thought I was good enough to raise her grandchild. Blake's mother, Eleanor, came the next morning impeccably dressed, handing Maya an envelope. Here's severance, she said coldly. Forget any fantasy of being part of this family. And just like that, Maya was out. Homeless, exhausted, working 3 jobs: waitress, store clerk, cleaner. Maya fought every day to survive, hiding a growing belly and an unraveling dream. The whispers followed her, that maid who tried to trap Morrison. The sting was constant, but so was her determination. Every coin saved was for prenatal vitamins, every sleepless night a step closer to something better. Then, a surprise: twins who defied every expectation. Premature, fragile, but already ahead in every developmental milestone. Their brilliance stunned doctors, their bond with Maya unbreakable. With help from a caring cook named Rosa and mentor Patricia, Maya pushed through exhaustion, juggling motherhood and studies, building a future where none had been offered. Years passed, Maya's nights filled with coding and care, her days with innovation and hope. A breakthrough in sustainable energy storage, an algorithm that industry leaders couldn't ignore. Investors came knocking. Maya built Johnson Renewables from a garage startup into a billion-dollar company, all while raising her extraordinary sons, Elijah and Ethan. Back in Boston, Blake Morrison's empire crumbled, unable to keep pace with the company he once dismissed. Yet fate wasn't done. A conference Tech Bridge Boston beckoned Maya to return, to face the city and the ghosts she left behind. And there, standing in a sea of admirers and rivals, Blake recognized her, the maid he once scorned, now a titan of tech. But the real shock came moments later, when Maya's sons stepped forward, twins with his unmistakable green eyes, his jawline, the very legacy he tried to erase. Blake's world tilted. Elijah and Ethan, brilliant and unyielding, met him not with anger, but with a truth that cut deeper than any insult. "You made our mom cry." Blake's regret was palpable, but the boys made it clear they didn't need a father who only wanted them because they were valuable now. They belonged to Maya's world, built on love, resilience, and brilliance. The fallout was swift. Morrison Technologies faced board revolts, stock plummeted, and Blake was left a shadow of the man he'd been. Maya, meanwhile, transformed the Morrison mansion itself into a haven of foundation for women in tech, a symbol of reclaiming power from rejection. In a quiet park, Eleanor Morrison met her grandsons, the green-eyed legacy she'd helped deny, now blossoming in defiance of her own past. The twins, curious but cautious, embodied the future Maya had fought to create. Through triumph and pain, Maya's story stands as a testament. Legacies aren't inherited. They're built often from the ashes of those who tried to bury you. The empty grave marked Baby Morrison wasn't an end. It was the beginning of everything they would become. So what do you think, folks? Was Blake Morrison justified in his choices? Or did Maya's resilience prove the true meaning of legacy? Drop your thoughts below. Where do you stand on justice, redemption, and the power of the underestimated? Because sometimes the people you overlook are the ones rewriting the whole story.